Hello, lovely podcast people. I hope you are well. This podcast, also, I really hope my microphone is working properly. I do a little test just because of previous bad experiences, but I know at least 2, if not 3 podcasts in recent weeks have not picked up properly and it's sounded very echoey, so I apologise for that. I hope it's working this week. Anyway, I've joked before about the amount of money that people are willing to charge or able to charge in the podcast world to have kind of adverts on their podcast. And it amazes me because my podcast ranks higher than theirs. Anyway, so Mac Nutrition Uni is obviously the culmination, really, I suppose, of my life's work. And at the time of releasing this podcast, enrolments for our 2022 intake will open tomorrow. Fear not, I'm going to release another podcast on an actual topic tomorrow. But I just wanted to release this podcast real quick. 1, obviously somewhat as an advertorial, but 2, it also answers questions that I think if you're anything to do with the nutrition, fitness and health industry, we've been running some adverts and it's such, I love business. It's always something I was hugely interested in. I kind of started I was one of those kids in school who ran a little business out of inside of his blazer pocket. Yes, I wore a blazer. Selling brew bars and alike to other kids who didn't get to school early enough to buy sweets at the shop. Anyway, and then I bought different things to start businesses over the years. I've always loved business, and over the years it's naturally formed well going into it as a self-employed individual and then having a nutrition consultancy that was obviously a thriving nutrition consultancy before MNU started. Anyway, we've been doing these adverts. But it's just interesting because you hit these cold leads and people ask these questions and they're quite abrupt, and the people who tend to comment are sometimes just there to, what can you do with this? Or because it's nutrition, because they are surprised, because they're maybe stuck in these old ways of thinking about you need to go to university. You need to be a dietitian. There's this urban legend that to do meal plans, you need to be a dietitian. And I, with my team, worked very hard to ensure, and this, I think it came about a year or 2 ago, that all MNU certified nutritionists who work in the 30 or so countries where we have bespoke insurance policies, under this trademarked MNU certified nutritionist name, are able to, the wording, I don't know the wording policy off by heart, but essentially it says stuff about assessing nutrient intake and being able to advise on appropriate supplements where appropriate, and design nutrition interventions to help people with their health goals and fitness goals, including the use of meal plans. And we have some cool stuff in the mentoring lab going up around meal plans and whatever. Anyway, so there's this urban legend of like, you can't do it unless you're a dietitian. Rubbish. Not true. And so anyway, the whole point of this was I send out emails to the priority list and Mac Nutrition Uni sort of email updates list where we send out, if you're not on there, if you want to, we've sent out if you're one of my listeners, we've sent out a couple of bits from the fat loss lectures. Like, we're not a big marketing company. I still remember, I was thinking about this the other day, I think it was, I can't remember what it was, questions for a businessy type podcast that wanted me on or something, but I can't remember, it was maybe like we hit something like 4 million turnover, and our advertising spend at the time was £99 total across all like Google ads, Facebook, Instagram ads, etc. And I remember talking to people who were spending like £3,000 a month on their Facebook ads manager, And there's this whole urban, or not urban myth, but just like in these circles of these people, there's like supposedly this upward inflection at that amount where it suddenly becomes this sort of exponential curve of return. But well, whatever. I don't know if it's something that's like Facebook planted this seed, so everyone's like trying to hit this point where they can spend $3,000 on Facebook ads, and obviously, hopefully, at like getting a return on investment that's greater than $3,000. But anyway, where was I? So essentially, we haven't done many of these Facebook ads, and we're not a big marketing company, right? So if you sign up to our updates list, you just get some free stuff. It's just, and we make sure that if you click something that says, I'm really interested in doing Nutrition Uni, I want to be on the priority list, then we'll send you kind of, marketing-based emails. But they're all, again, I write 99.9% of, no, that's not true. I was going to say 99.9% of all emails that go out, but no, as in those emails, like they all come from me. I've written them. The why not to do emails, and they're genuine. But anyway, on our main updates list, I do also just give people information because they're there, and there's these 2 fat loss emails with lectures on fat loss that you can get for free. So I'm basically telling this, if you want to, hop on there. And one of the things we've also done recently is release the prospectus for MNU. So if you're interested, if you're at all interested in if you even just like back of your mind, go and have a look at the prospectus. Amazing. All stuff on there about, someone sent me a DM today to me sort of saying, I'm really interested in what, I don't know where she saw this, but about salaried positions post MNU. And, initially I've always said don't do MNU if you want to guarantee a salaried position, because most salaried positions around the world will, for rightly or wrongly, go, you need to have a degree. But more and more people are being headhunted for different positions. Global nutrition coaching companies are, sort of headhunting or seeking out or only employing MNU certified nutritionists. So it's been a massive, what's the word I'm looking for? Just big changes in recent years, just as the reputation has just gone so big globally. But anyway, so the prospectus is there. And I send these emails out, and this is what I was getting to, is just, but I haven't kind of publicized some of these things. And I probably should just say, if you're thinking of doing it, it's a bit, basically, we're not increasing the fees of MNU this year. We haven't increased them since, I think, 2000, I don't know, something, and 2000, lol. No, 2020, I stopped at 2000. And we were going to increase the fees, but we just thought, you know what, the world is so expensive right now, and we'll just keep everything the same for people. But that does mean that probably in 2023, the cost of the course, which is already astronomically underpriced, will go up. The amount that we deliver is just, there's so much over delivery on MNU versus other courses, and yet people are still going, what's the difference between yours and this? And it's like, you're just comparing apples to a spaceship, not apples to oranges, but apples to a spaceship. Good analogy. So anyway, I just wanted to say that if you're kind of umming and ahhing, I don't want people to pay more for something they're already really kind of decided they're going to do, but they just need that last kick over the line. And the last thing I just wanted to say, because people aren't necessarily aware of this, is just we got contacted by the blue light card discount people. That's for healthcare, social care, military, whatever, services, public servants, people. Anyway, we now offer discounts for those individuals. We also, if you're a student or actually a registered dietitian or a registered nutritionist, we have concession rates for those people, because you know what, I would love to have more registered dietitians and registered nutritionists. We have registered dietitian, registered nutritionists doing MNU, but just to have more of them, because I just know it's going to help them help other people. And maybe just make them a bit more effective. Like, they have this phenomenal title, but it's just, I know for a fact, based on what's taught, we have an area on the website now which basically compares MNU to a registered nutritionist degree program, 3 years, or a registered dietitian degree program, 3 or 4 years, and just the types of modules and what you cover, and just kind of showing you the difference. It's a little bit similar. If you've listened to my last podcast on how to become a fully qualified insurable nutritionist, I cover some of it there. But anyway, I have this little post-it note in my hand, and it just says meal plans, prospectus, fees, enrolments open, discounts, just for some things I wanted to just throw out there to you guys. Super short podcast. Enrolments open tomorrow. No, this will be released on a Tuesday. Yeah, and there'll be tomorrow. So not my tomorrow, but your tomorrow when you're listening to this. Probably not when you listen to this, but most of you, lots of you downloading the first day. Anyway, Wednesday, the 13th of July, 2022, for the September intake. And as ever, if you've got any questions, mnu@mac-nutrition.com. Customer relations, administrations team, super helpful. They'll answer any questions for you. Much better than DMing me on Instagram and me, thumbing you a response. That's a great way to finish the podcast, isn't it? You just get a much more in-depth answer. Or log on to the website actually and go to our mac-nutritionuni.com/help hub. Oh, I don't know if that's one word. I should probably check that. You'll probably find it if you just type in help hub. We've just got this fairly all-encompassing help area now for prospective students. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to say. I hope you enjoy the podcast after this, which will actually have some sort of content in it. Yeah, thanks very much for listening if you've listened this far. But much love. Until next time.